From Commando.com, it's your tech news today for Tuesday, August 21st. I'm Mike James. Coming up in a bit, Google is adding a feature to Gmail that'll make messages you send more private. Plus, people are experiencing problems with a popular Google device that might qualify for free replacement. And Netflix fans are not happy about losing the reviews feature on that site. All that and more in Tech News Today from Commando.com. We start with a cool new feature on Gmail that you're going to love. Earlier this year, Google announced a huge redesign of its email service, including a confidential mode which allows users to set a self-destruct date on any email. The only problem with this sly feature, it was only available on your desktop computer until now. Google recently announced on social media that this data protection feature is now available on mobile devices. In addition to setting an expiration date for specific messages, you can also revoke access to messages that have already been sent. Talk about a relationship saver. Confidential mode also blocks recipients from copying, downloading, forwarding, or printing an email's content. But screenshots are still fair game, and if that's not enough, the sender can require the recipient to enter a one-time code sent to them through a text message. Talk about beefed up security. Now, if you're a G Suite user, the confidential mode is deactivated by default. To enable it, you need permission from your company's admin. However, for the average user, it's on and ready to go. One important note, Gmail is not an end-to-end encrypted service, so Google could still read your emails even if they're in confidential mode. Again, think before you send. And we have more tech news just ahead. Right now, a quick thank you to our amazing partners at Dell.
As a business owner, I rely on Dell Small Business Technology Advisors. I'm Kim Commando. Now, you and I both know there's nothing small about our businesses. Our reputation is always on the line, and that's where the Dell Small Business Technology Advisors come in. Reliable Dell PCs with Intel Core processors are rock solid. That means you can focus on getting business done. Call 877-BUY-DELL. That's 1-877-BUY-DELL.
Well, here's some news for Android fans. Google's popular gadget, the Pixel 2 XL, is getting a fix-up. After hordes of people complained about lagging issues, the company is responding with research. Google engineers found 3 possible causes of the slowdown issues. One of them would require hardware replacements. While the company is expected to offer fixes very soon, you may not have to wait. If you've experienced slowdown with your device, you might be eligible for a replacement. And to get that replacement, you need to call Google and you can get the process started there. If you're a Netflix fan, we have some bad news. People are up in arms on social media over changes made to the streaming service. Yesterday, we told you how Netflix was putting commercials in between binge episodes. Well, today, the user review feature is suddenly disappeared. It happened over the weekend and people are freaking out about it. This may have been a tactic to find out what other people think about movies and TV shows streaming on Netflix. Earlier this year, the company robbed its users of another favorite feature, its star rating system. So peer-to-peer reviews are basically gone from the site. But don't worry, there is a backdoor. The backdoor is a website called New on Netflix. They have all the information that you need, including entertainment ratings from other sites like IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. There's even a search function that lets you read up on specific movies that you've been thinking about watching. The site is updated daily, so new additions to Netflix will be reviewed almost immediately. Your movie crisis is now averted. If you've ever deposited a check with your mobile device, you'll want to pay attention to this. The Federal Reserve recently added a new requirement to the process that could get your deposit rejected if you're not careful. From now on, whenever you deposit a check with your smartphone or tablet, you must write "for mobile deposit only" underneath your signature on the check itself. You may have received a message from your bank about this already. If not, This is not just a request, it is a requirement. It's absolutely mandatory. Some banks are encouraging customers to add additional verbiage to the check that makes it more bank-specific. Make sure to follow the procedure or your check could be rejected, the deposit wouldn't go through, and you'll get a rejection notice due to restrictive endorsement. This extra measure was put in place to protect banks from fraud, which can happen if a check is accidentally or intentionally presented at a bank after it's already been deposited with a mobile device. With more people making deposits via mobile devices more than actually enter banks, banks are now putting up new policies in place to protect their customers and, of course, protect themselves. Hey, do you remember all the hype when the iPhone X came out last year? It was the 10-year anniversary of the iPhone, so everyone was super excited to find out what groundbreaking new features would be included. It is a great gadget, don't get us wrong, but many people were disappointed with a lack of innovation in the iPhone X. One glaring problem was the supposed edge-to-edge display. It turns out its display is not truly edge-to-edge. There's a visible notch at the top of the screen. Makers still haven't found out a way to hide features like the front-facing camera and the ear speaker, so hence the notch. But fret no more, my notch haters. Rumors are swirling about the first ever all-screen phone hitting the market as early as next year. Companies in China are presumed to be working on devices with no bezel or notch at all. These could be the smooth-faced droids you are looking for. Or perhaps it might be a new iPhone. The rumor sources haven't disclosed whether it's an Apple or Android yet, but I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Mozilla's Firefox browser just got a little more secure, but it's because of misbehavior. Some developers are concerned about it. The German security add-on called Web Security was reported as acting strangely. As Mozilla rolled out a bunch of security-focused extensions, some techies started examining them thoroughly, and they discovered that the Web Security extension was assigning each user an ID and sending information labeled old URL and new URL to a consistent IP address, basically acting on its own. Mozilla removed it along with 22 others from the available extensions list. Well, now the extension's developers are pushing back. They claim the issue stems from a lack of encryption measures in its first software package, but that the issue has since been resolved. Mozilla hasn't said whether they will allow the updated extension to return. And let's end today's podcast with a cool story from a galaxy far, far away, thousands of galaxies to be exact. The Hubble Telescope recently took a picture of the cosmos that is simply stunning. This image is packed with a bunch of little lights, but the objects producing these lights are anything but tiny. It's a collection of thousands of galaxies, and many of them are producing tons of brand new stars. The picture is so breathtaking, in fact, that NASA released a statement. They said that the Hubble has produced one of the largest panoramic views of fire and fury of starbirths in the distant universe. The field features about 15,000 galaxies, about 12,000 of which are forming stars. This is a brand new window into the evolving universe, tracking the birth of stars over the last 11 billion years. Back to what they call the cosmos' busiest star-forming period. If you want to check it out, go to nasa.gov. It is really amazing. By the way, once you're done listening to this podcast, we'd appreciate it if you tell some friends about it and give us a 5-star review or some positive comments. That helps other people find the podcast, and we do thank you for that. And finally, for today's Commando Kicker, have you ever wondered how long it would take to actually watch everything on Netflix? Well, you don't have to worry about it. Scientists have already figured it out for you. If you were to really go on a binge of a lifetime and watch everything on Netflix, it would take you exactly 3,274 hours, which totals 830 minutes a day for 236 and a half days. So, technically, if you cloned yourself and made 20 of you and sat all of you on a couch for the next year and a half only watching Netflix, well, the truth is I don't have a calculator. I don't know how many hours of Netflix you'd be watching, but you'd probably hate yourself and you'd gain a lot of weight, so don't do that. For more fun and interesting facts, go to Commando.com and search the Commando Kicker. That's our tech news today. Special thanks to our partners at Quip.
Ask any dentist and they will tell you most of us brush our teeth too hard, unevenly, and not nearly long enough. And that leads to serious health problems. So I decided to do something about it. I'm Simon Enever, and I invented Quip, the modern electric toothbrush to help you have fresh breath, pristine teeth, and excellent oral hygiene. As a product designer, I care about how your toothbrush looks, feels, and the quality of every bristle. Quip has a lightweight and sleek design with simple timed vibrations and guiding pulses for a perfect 2-minute clean. And unlike other high-end electric toothbrushes, Quip starts at just $25. BuzzFeed calls us the iPhone of toothbrushes, and Time magazine named us one of the best inventions of the year. Start brushing better with Quip.
Go to getquip.com/Kim and get your first refill pack free with a Quip electric toothbrush. That's your first refill pack free at getquip.com/Kim. Spelled GETQUIP.com/Kim.